I'm Liz, and I'm a compulsive overeater. Making this channel is something I've been considering for quite a while. Honestly, there's really two, maybe three main reasons I want to do this. This part of this is for me. If you can't tell by looking at me, although I'm sure it's suggested, I currently weigh 330 pounds as of this morning. So, what I really need is I need a place to hold myself accountable, a place to talk about what's honestly going on, because for so long I've struggled with this. Honestly, my eating habits have been a disaster. Looking back now and sort of facing it honestly, since as early as middle school, I would say about 12 or 13 is when the problems really started. Even though a lot of people in my family struggle with the same thing, like my sister was overweight for a long time and then finally got her act together. My mom struggled with being overweight for a long time, and she is much better now, but still clearly not quite where she wants to be. My brother, my father, literally everyone in my family has had food issues and has struggled with being overweight. But despite all that, in spite of all that, having all these people surrounding me, I've never felt that I could talk about it to anyone. One of the things about my eating is that it was this deep, secret, shameful thing, and so it made talking about it impossible. It made it really, really hard, and so I feel like I've been struggling for half my life at this point alone, without being able to talk to anyone about it and feeling like no one would understand. So, I haven't had anyone to talk to about it. This is the first time I feel like I've ever confronted it in myself, and so I want to really examine what's going on, how I'm feeling, the realities of this situation. It's to hold me accountable and to have a platform to just excise all this deep, dark stuff I feel like that's just been rotting inside of me forever. And that's reason number two. I've always felt really alone. It's deep, it's dark, it's secret, it's shameful. No one's going to talk about it. I can't talk about it with anyone. And I want to change that. So, I'm hoping that by doing this, people with food issues, whatever your food issues happen to be, will have a chance to feel like someone else has been there. Someone knows what's going on, that you aren't alone. Because being alone is honestly the worst feeling in the world. And number three, I feel like we don't talk about fat. I know that sounds weird, especially with all the health articles and stuff coming out all the time, but oh, everyone's obese, oh, it's a disaster, and a lot of the body positivity stuff too. But I feel like what hasn't happened is we as a society haven't confronted like the realities of the situation. What is it like to be fat? What is it like to live as someone who's morbidly obese? What happens in your day-to-day life? What challenges are there finding that balance between being healthy and being happy and how to get there? And I feel like people have questions and there's no way to ask them without it coming off as rude. So I want this to be a space where we really explore what's going on, not in a voyeuristic way. I know there's some shows out there like, The Biggest Loser and My Sister's Pub Life, and while those shows can be really helpful for some people, there are aspects of them that I really dislike. There's a sort of, again, it's that voyeurism. It's that we're looking at these people and shaming them, even as they tell their story. So I want to talk about these things. I want to have a discussion about what it's like living with morbid obesity, what it's like trying to get healthy, and the unique constraints that present themselves when you're carrying this much weight around on a day-to-day basis, and how that affects your life. And I want to have sort of an open, frank conversation and discussion about it without those sort of shaming, voyeuristic overtones. So I'm hoping this can be a place where we can do that. So a little bit about me. As I mentioned, as of this morning, I weigh 330 pounds. I never thought I would be here. Anyone who is here never thought they would be here. And there's a lot of stuff, obviously, that contributed to me getting to this point. I wouldn't say I have enablers so much as I have co-conspirators. Like I mentioned, everyone in my family has had really struggled with food and with weight throughout their lives. part of the issue I'm having right now is I really don't know what a healthy relationship with food looks like. I've never seen one modeled, I've never had one, so figuring that out at, the ripe old age of 25 is something of a struggle. But I'm hoping that by talking about it, by having you guys help keep me accountable, I can figure that out, and hopefully you guys won't feel like you're alone. And I'm really hoping that as this goes on, I'll begin to slim down, and you can actually see what's happening and know that it can happen for you. I've actually lost a lot of weight, and it's important to keep reminding myself of that, even though, I look in the mirror and I look at my recording on the camera right now, and it's like, oh my god, what happened? I know what happened. We'll talk about what happened. But it's really important to remember where you were versus what you are now. With these kind of long, transformative journeys, you need to look at what you've accomplished. Look back at what you've accomplished, not look ahead at what you still have to do. And that's one of the things I'm really trying to work on. So, 2 or 3 months ago, I weighed 350 pounds. So, yeah, I've slimmed down a lot since then. Not quite 10% of my body weight, but I can definitely see the difference in my face. Although you guys can't, because you don't know what I look like. I'm mostly just happy that I have definition again. I'm still a little blobby, but before it was really bad. So, happy that's done, and I'm a little less blobby now than I was. So, how did I get here? I guess that's something we can talk about. I really don't want to, as I'm sure you guys can tell by the size and the ways I keep dancing around it. So there's a lot of contributing factors. Obviously, for me, most of it comes down to emotional eating. And I feel like that's true of a lot of people who compulsively overeat. They're trying to work through something. And for some reason, food is what they've decided to try and do that with. It's a form of self-medication that kills you, just like almost all of them do. The issue with food, though, is, if you become a drug addict or you become an alcoholic, you can, one day at a time, of course, always, there's going to be relapses, you're going to have to go through it, but you can say to yourself, okay, no more. I'm not touching the drugs, I'm not touching the alcohol, I'm going cold turkey. When food is what you use, that's not something you can say. You need food to survive. While figuring out your trigger foods is important. The reality is that you're always going to have to eat. You are. And so how do you manage an addiction that you have to confront every day? And that's something I'm still struggling with. And again, I'm really hoping that talking about it will make it easier to deal with. I'm hoping that talking about it will help some of you guys. And for those of you who aren't in my situation or don't understand my situation, I'm hoping that maybe this will help. We can try and be more, not even sympathetic. Sympathy can be annoying. Pity can be annoying. I want empathy. I want people to care. I want people to understand what it's like and how people got the way they are, and try and confront a lot of the disgust that we as a society have for fat people. That's what it is. Another thing I want to be super clear about here is that being fat is not inherently bad. There's nothing wrong with that. Some bodies like to store things certain ways. Everyone has a place where their body wants to be. What is healthy for you may not be what is healthy for other people. Now, being morbidly obese is something different. When you're morbidly obese, what happens is that you start to develop issues because your body physically cannot handle everything you've put on it. Stuff starts cropping up. I know for me, one of the ways it manifests pretty frequently is back pain. And when you are so overweight that it starts physically putting stress on your joints, that's something to work on. So my goal is not to get skinny, my goal is to get healthy, because I know I'm not healthy right now. That's, again, nothing on body positivity, being fat. If that's healthy for you, is awesome. Society's beauty standards are completely fucked up anyway. You do you. Body positivity is awesome. But again, there's a difference between being healthy and being skinny. Right now, I'm neither. I don't want to be skinny. I do want to be healthy. So that's what this journey for me is about. Confronting my issues with food, working on getting to a place where I'm not putting as much stress on my body, both physically and emotionally, because this takes a toll on you. And getting to a point where I can be healthy and be comfortable with who I am. both physically and in other ways. I want this to be a place where we can have frank, honest discussions about everything. Some things I want to be clear about. I am obviously white. While I am chronically ill, for reasons completely unrelated to my weight, I am, for the most part, able-bodied, so my experiences aren't going to reflect everyone's experiences. I do want everyone to be aware I'm only speaking of my experience as a fat, morbidly obese, chronically ill white woman in the United States. So, yeah, I'm hoping we can all go on this journey together. I'm hoping to help you, and that you guys can help me. So, if you've got any questions, comments, concerns, please go ahead, leave a comment below. I'm going to give the Twitter, probably the website, but I'll have an email for you guys to get in touch if you've got something longer query or something you don't want shared publicly. Barring vacation for the foreseeable future, I'm going to try and post these every day. So, I'll see you guys tomorrow.